Next on Worcester News tonight, a Berlin man is arraigned from his hospital bed as new details emerge about his role in the death of a man whose body was found last week. Plus, a different take on recreational marijuana business. An Uxbridge woman is opening what she calls a cannabis boutique. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemon. The Worcester Public Schools already announcing a snow day for tomorrow. A winter storm watch is going into effect Tuesday afternoon through Wednesday morning. We are expected to see snow transition to sleet and then mix with freezing rain. For more on the storm's timeline, here's meteorologist Chris Gloninger.
I'm meteorologist Chris Gloninger, expecting a snowy Tuesday afternoon that will likely impact the evening commute. We'll dive right into the hour-by-hour timing. We wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to a temperature of 15 degrees in Worcester. Plenty cold for us to see accumulations, rapid accumulations, once the snow moves in. During the late morning, it's edging its way into western Connecticut, eventually to Hartford by lunchtime, and then that snow breaks out between 1 and 2 in the afternoon. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some early dismissals. At 3 o'clock, we're seeing those 1 inch per hour snowfall rates going from Worcester all the way to Boston. The Mass Pike will become snow-covered quickly. 5 o'clock in the evening, we still have heavy snow, but a transition over to freezing rain and sleet is possible. It's actually likely as we go into Tuesday night. 29 for a high, but we're up to 44 on Wednesday. The thaw will continue into Thursday. If you want to wait and you don't have a place to be, you may want to just wait and let Mother Nature take care of the snow for you, especially on asphalt and concrete. It should melt rather quickly as we go late into the week when we could see some heavy rain by Friday. I'll discuss those forecast details for you coming up in your exclusive 10-day forecast.
And a winter parking ban will go into effect in Worcester tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Bail is denied in the case of a man accused of attacking another man later found dead. Dean Valchez was arraigned from his hospital bed today, where his attorney pled not guilty on his behalf, but a witness says she saw Valchez hit the victim. Our Chandler Walsh joins us now from UMass Medical Center, where he was arraigned with the latest details in the investigation. Chandler.
Olivia, it was a brief arraignment this afternoon in the ICU at UMass. Valchez's attorney says he met with the prosecutor and judge beforehand. He also says he and Valchez haven't had any conversations about the facts of this case yet. Dean Valchez is arraigned from his hospital bed in the ICU. The Berlin man is charged with assault and battery causing serious bodily injury in connection with the death of Roger Bemis.
He seems to be in good spirits considering his physical condition and the charges that are going to be brought against him.
Bemis was found dead in his Water Street apartment in Clinton Thursday. The Worcester District Attorney's Office says he appeared to have been dead for several days.
Very scary. Because we think, living in a small town like this, we're immune or something like that.
The DA says Valchez fell out of a tree stand used for hunting when police responded to his home. He's being treated with serious injuries, and there's no word on why he fell.
Under the circumstances where he is held at the hospital, there's no privacy. I have no opportunity to speak with him in detail about the event or how he was taken into custody.
According to police reports, a witness was with Valchez and Bemis Super Bowl Sunday. She says she saw Valchez strike Bemis in the head and face at least 10 times, causing him to bleed from his head and nose. The news coming as a shock to people who live in town.
The neighbor said it was pretty loud there, so they assumed there was partying going on.
The witness says she and Valchez left Bemis's apartment shortly after. Valchez's attorney says he denies the charge.
A plea of not guilty has been entered on his behalf, and that's where the court process stands.
Authorities say Bemis's death is suspicious and the cause of death is still being determined.
Anytime a life is lost, it's always sad. Those people have families, and, everyone's family is involved from both sides, so it's, not an easy thing.
Valchez's bail was revoked for a previous open case out of Fitchburg, so he's being held without bail. This case will continue for a dangerousness hearing in March. Live in Worcester, Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
A 19-year-old Worcester man is found in Sutton after police had been looking for him for more than 24 hours. Rashim Rosa was last seen running into the woods with a 3-foot sword. Spencer police say Rosa fled the woods after a fight on Sunday. It appears the fight was over the custody of a 17-year-old. He was found with the same 17-year-old who ran away after being returned to her guardian yesterday. The case is under investigation. A Central Massachusetts woman is set to open a recreational marijuana shop in Uxbridge next month. It will be the first woman-owned pot store in the state. Our Brittany Schaefer spoke to the owner today. She has more. Brittany?
Olivia, Caroline Frankel is also opening the first small business marijuana shop. She says Caroline's Cannabis will be unlike any other shop in the state. Caroline Frankel wants to start a trend. She's getting ready to open the state's first small business recreational marijuana shop.
All we've seen so far are big businesses, right? So this is a small business perspective. It's going to be a country-inspired cannabis boutique store.
Caroline's Cannabis is the first retail-only applicant to be licensed by the state. It's also the first woman-owned marijuana shop. Frankel says of the state's 284 applicants, only 8 are women.
This is a really big deal, and hopefully it's the start of something really special, and we see other women and different groups come forward and want to be a part of the industry. It's been a long road, and there have been a lot of hurdles and barriers, but I feel really lucky to be where I am today. I've worked really hard for it.
The Uxbridge store is 6 years in the making. Frankel says the town is the perfect location to open shop.
We're in a great area, right in central Massachusetts. It's charming. Uxbridge is a charming community. Uxbridge has been completely supportive of cannabis in the area. I'm buying off the product manufacturers, the micro businesses, and the cultivators in the state. So yeah, really excited to really highlight some of these artists.
Frankel is going to be getting her product from a grower in town. She says the process hasn't been easy, but with the grand opening in sight, it's all worth it.
So I'm a 20-year enthusiast myself. I believe in it. I believe in it not only medically, but for recreationally. I started making rustic signs and really spreading the kind word of cannabis. You're going to be able to see that same feel in the store.
And the Cannabis Control Commission gave Frankel the retail license last Thursday. She says her goal is to open on March 8th. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
The MBTA announcing a community meeting will be held in Worcester next month regarding the fare proposal. The announcement comes less than a week after 15 members of the Central Mass Caucus submitted a letter to the MBTA Fiscal and Management Control Board. Worcester is located within Zone 8 of the commuter rail fare table. The proposed increase, which would take effect starting July 1st, would raise the Zone 8 fare by 75 cents to $12.25 for a one-way ticket. The community meeting will take place at Worcester's Union Station Wednesday, March 6th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. A $1.4 million deficit. It's what the Roman Catholic Diocese of Worcester is facing for fiscal year 2018. The diocese says basic operational costs, including things like health care, deficits in retiree care, and aging infrastructure in schools and parishes, led to an operating deficit of $1.4 million. After including unrealized gains on investments, the annual report shows an $832,000 deficit. Spokesperson Ray Delisle says anytime there is a deficit this large, it's a cause for concern.
Over $1 million, it's definitely something to be concerned about. And it's not that we can say that it's going to be significantly different this coming year. The costs remain. Those are realities that we have to deal with just like anyone.
And the diocese is moving forward with their Legacy of Hope Capital campaign in hopes to raise more money. The City of Worcester and Shine Initiative are teaming up to address the stigma around mental health issues. A public campaign will help link people to the resources they may need.
All you have to do is talk, listen, and care.
This public service announcement aims to reduce the stigma around mental health issues. Monday, the Mayor's Task Force on Mental Health and the Shine Initiative unveiled the new campaign.
To tell people, seek the help, come see a professional, come and address your issues and not try to hide it. It's all right to have some issues. It's all right to get help, seek help, and get cured.
The Shine Initiative works with children and young adults. Their goal is to raise awareness of mental illness as a mainstream health issue. The group's executive director says once people are able to talk about their feelings, it becomes easier to deal with their condition.
There's that initial discomfort, that initial stigma, and sort of that maintains the silence around it. But once you go through it, and anyone with lived experience kind of knows, once you finally do share, sometimes it lessens some of the pressure you're carrying around.
Dr. Maddie Castile says 7 out of the 10 leading causes of illness can be traced to mental health. The condition is also linked to other serious issues in the community, like the opioid epidemic and homelessness.
If you talk about what's happening in other countries, they put an emphasis on mental health because it is truly the most important piece. So how do we start doing that same piece in our community?
The campaign wants to start the conversation around mental health.
They're little steps, but they can make a big difference in people's lives.
Most stuff can be done by talking to each other.
And hopes to give people direction to the resources they need.
There's a website, for the campaign, Talk Mental Health, WORC.org, just to be a landing page, because there's so many great supports in the city. But like a lot of things, everyone doesn't know where they are or what they are.
It's okay. You're not alone out here, and hopefully they can seek the help that they need.
To Decision 2020 now, another Massachusetts Democrat could be getting into the race for president. Congressman Seth Moulton saying today he is considering a run for the White House. Moulton recently made headlines for criticizing Nancy Pelosi before she regained the role of House Speaker. Moulton holding a town hall in Salem today. Earlier this month, Moulton paid a visit to New Hampshire.